Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Alright, kita berjumpa lagi for the code ICT 501 Database Management Systems. Okay, so before we continue with new topics, right? Let's check again our scheme of works. So we are supposed to be here, right? Week 7, distributed database management system. Before this, alright, so before this we already finished with transactions management system, right? So for this week, continue with a new topics, that is distributed database management systems, right? So from the books Carlos Cornell, chapter 12, right? So for this week's, right, so we only cover chapter 12.1 until 12.6, and then followed by another topics for during weeks 9. Okay, so for today, let's continue with the evolutions of database, disadvantages, advantages, and also disadvantages, the distributed processing and distributed database, and also characteristics of the database. Alright, so with that, let's continue with the slides. Okay, so we are using Carlos Cornell, chapter 12, distributed database management system. Okay, alright, so let's start. Okay, so for these topics, alright, we will cover in this chapter, the student will learn about the distributed database management system and their components, and also database implementations, and also factors by the different levels of data, and also the transaction managed in the distributed database environment. Okay, so we already done the transaction. Okay, so how we are going to manage the transactions in the database, distributed database, or DDBMS. Alright, so okay, so and also student will in this chapter will cover how to distribute database designs, draw and data partition replication to balance performance and so scalability, and also a trade-off of implementing a distributed database management system. Okay, so before that, right, so before that, let's go to the our whiteboard. Okay, so just to recap again, like I mentioned earlier, okay, so we just look again into this diagrams. Okay, we have a data, and then after that the data will turn into info, right, and then the data will stored in the database. Okay, so we have a table here. Alright, so this is our ERD, consider done. Okay, ERD, and of course this is our okay, if let's say for 501, okay, we have another new topics. So number 1, transaction. Okay, number 2, okay, for today is DDBMS. So we will cover today this in this lessons. Okay, number 3, data warehouse, and also plus BI, business intelligence, and number 4, emerging techs. Okay, alright, so this is for the management. Again, I repeat, okay, so the new topics for 501s, right, so on this side is considered as a management topic for how to manage the database. Right, how to manage the database here. Okay, so let's start. Go back to the to the PowerPoints. Okay, so the evolutions of database management system, right? So this is what we call as a DDBMS, right? So you should familiar with this keywords here. DDBMS. D stand for distributed. Alright. So what is distributed database management system? Alright. So for the examples, okay, database is governed storage and also processing of logically related data over interconnected computer system. Okay, number one, and what's the meanings of govern? Alright, so if let's say you Google's govern mean manage. Okay, in simple words, govern means manage. So we are manage what? We are manage a storage and also a processing. So when we talk about processing, okay, this is related to the transactions. Okay, how you process your database, and at the end of the day, how you manage your database. Okay, and of logically related data over interconnected. Logically related data. So we have a lot of data in our database. Let's say, for example, okay, this is our database. This is also our database. This is also our database, and all this database is related. Okay, and over interconnected computer system. You just imagine, okay, this database may be located at Shah Alam, this database may be located at Seremban, this database may be located at Melaka, and so on. Okay, so interconnected. Interconnected mean there must be a network here. There must be a network here for the computer system. Alright. So this is the definitions of a distributed database management system. So number one is governed storage and also processing of logically related data over interconnected computer system. Okay, in a simple process. Okay, just think like okay, if let's say we have island, we are using island nowadays. Alright, so the main system, the main database is located at Shah Alam. Kita simpan dekat Shah Alam. And all the processors and also storage maybe at the different campuses. Okay, maybe kita akan letak dekat campus-campus yang tertentu at the different campuses, dan there must be somebody govern the storage atau all processing. So akan ada somebody from the campuses akan manage the storage. Okay, ataupun manage the storage and also manage the processing of the island. Dan untuk nak menggunakan island, dia mesti ada computer and also interconnected, mesti ada network. Okay, dia mesti ada network, dan juga data-data tersebut mestilah related. Kalau kita nak Shah Alam gunakan island pun sama, Melaka gunakan pun sama, Seremban gunakan pun sama, dan dia mesti interconnected. Okay, so that is the definitions of DDBMS. Okay, so the next one, data and processing functions are distributed among several sites. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, kita akan letak all the data, okay, at the several sites. So for example, maybe but then for our case, island and so on, alright, so our data is located at Shah Alam. So if let's say you just imagine, maybe sometimes we can put different data at the different campuses, okay, Seremban and so on. Okay, centralized database management systems required that the corporate data be stored in a single central site. Okay, this is our example. This is our example. So let's say, for example, in island, okay, islands consider centralized. Okay, consider centralized because all the data will be stored in a single central site. So meaning that in Shah Alam. Okay, semua data kita akan, for example, kita simpan di Shah Alam, di UiTM Shah Alam. So the rest akan gunakan saja, and the data access provided through the dump terminal. So kita hanya menggunakan saja data yang telah disimpan di Shah Alam tadi. Okay, so in our case, we are more on centralized database management system. For example, island. Okay, So let's move to the next slides. Okay. Okay, this is the example of centralized database management system, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, you just imagine that this is our database in Shah Alam, and imagine this is user. So who is the user? Let's say for example, we are the user. Okay, so we are accessing the data to Shah Alam. So the end user will access the data, so meaning that it will request, and also Shah Alam will reply the data to the end user. To the end user. So using a dumb computer here. Okay, so this is what we call as a centralized database management system, right? So it's quite simple. Okay, so move to the next one. Okay, factors affecting the centralized database system, like I mentioned earlier. So when you want to manage a database, so what is the factor affecting the centralized database system? In our case, most of our system in UiTM is centralized. Okay, centralized means will govern in the Shah Alam, UiTM Shah Alam. Alright. So what is the factor? Okay, so you just memorize the factor. Okay, number one, this is only sums of the factors. Okay, number one is globalizations of business operation. So meaning that all the business like ours, UiTM is considered throughout all over Malaysia. So we have more than 30 campuses, more than 30 branches, and so on. Okay, so our business is wide, broadened. So we are trying to globalize the business operation. So we cannot put all the data in all our campuses. So we need to centralize the data. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, advancements of web-based service. Okay, of course, we are now in the era of internet and also web-based services. So we need to use the advantage of web-based and also internet. Okay, number three, rapid growth of the social network and also network technology. Okay, so we are in the era of social media. So we cannot miss the technologies based on the social media and also the networks. Okay, so very rapid. So nowadays, if let's say something like this, and now we are using online distance learning. So this is part of the examples, online distance learning. Okay, number four, digitization resulting in multiple types of data. Okay, aku masuk kat sini. Digitization resulting in multiple types of data. So sekarang ni it's not only a text. Okay, so there's a lot of things that people digitize things like maybe image, okay, face, video, alright, and so on. So this is the era of digitization. So this is contribute to the multiple types of data. Okay, that's not only text. Okay, our data is maybe image here. Alright, so maybe image. Okay, maybe video. Alright, so maybe sound. Okay, so maybe whatever it is. So this is what we call as multiple types of data. It's not only number, character, and so on. Okay, so there's a lot of data here in the digitizations era. Okay, number five, innovative business intelligence through analysis of data. Alright, so we are now in the era of analyze. So if let's say we want to talk about Industrial Revolution 4.0, okay, one of the elements in Industrial Revolution 4.0 is how you can analyze the data. So we need to use our data to make an impact, to know the factor, the results, okay, the outputs of the data. Okay, so there's a lot of things. So that's why in one of our topics, we talk about business intelligence, BI. Okay, move to the next one. Okay, factor that aided the DDBMS to cope with technological advancement. Right, so there's another things that you need to memorize and also that you need to think. Okay, so factor that aided data DDBMS to cope with technology advancement. Okay, number one, acceptance of internet as platform for business. Okay, so we are now in the era of internet, so kita tak boleh nak lari dah. So we are in the era of internet, so everything's internet. So now we are facing COVID-19, so no more face to face, so we are using as solidly internet based platform. Okay, so this is a good example. So we are 100% using internet based platform for business, not for the education, maybe for the business and so on. Okay, number 2, mobile wireless revolutions. Okay, so this is another things that you need to consider. So we are now in the era of 4G, towards 5G coming soon. Okay, mobile wireless revolution, and the network is getting faster and faster every day, every year and every weeks. Right, so this is what we call as a mobile wireless revolution. The next one is usage of applications as a service. Okay, this is also impact of the give an impact to the database. Alright, what is applications? Okay, maybe we can imagine like apps. So apps that we are going to use as a service. Okay, so service, for example, now we are using like a Grab, a Food Panda, and so on. Okay, this is all service. Like Trivago. Okay, so just imagine, Grab ni ada tak kedai makan dia sendiri? Tak ada. So they are using only a service. Dia hanya menggunakan platform ataupun apps untuk servis saja. Food Panda ada restoran? Tak ada. Trivago ada hotel dia sendiri? Tak ada. So apa yang dia ada? It's only a service. They are only offer a service. So that's why now kita dah nampak the usage of application as a service. So this is zaman, bukan nak kata zaman lah, our era now, especially during the PKP and also the MCO. So we are dependent on usage of applications like Grab, Food Panda, and so on. So everything is online, right? So the next one is focus on mobile business intelligence. Okay, so this is what we call BI, business intelligence. Okay, so people are getting closer to mobile. All right. So we'll talk about mobile intelligence later in next chapter. All right. So move to the next one. Okay, desirability of distributed database management system over centralized database management system. Okay, kita nak tengok apa masalahnya. What is the advantages or disadvantages of distributed database management system over centralized. Okay, so number 1. Okay, kalau kita tengok sini, performance degradations. Okay, apa maksud performance degradation? Let's say for example island. Okay, so sometimes apabila satu Malaysia guna kita punya sistem island ni, okay, performance dia akan down. Okay, kita boleh nampak dah kesan dia. Okay, sebab apa? Why? Because all the data is put centralized in Shah Alam. Okay, so maksud dia sekarang kita tahu dah data dia semua dekat Shah Alam, server dia dekat Shah Alam, everything is in Shah Alam. So if let's say sekarang ni zaman-zaman online ni, semua orang akan access the same database at the same times. Okay, so performance maybe up and also maybe down. Okay, sometimes they up, sometimes maybe they down. Okay, number 2, high cost. Of course lah, cost dia tinggi. sebab kita nak simpan dekat centralized. So somebody kena manage. So kena manage properly kita punya data kat sini. So this is involve cost. Okay, so it's very high cost, right? So number 3, reliability problem. Okay, sometimes we are facing this problem, reliability. Reliability means kadang-kadang ada, kadang-kadang tak ada. Kadang-kadang okey, kadang-kadang tak okey. Reliable tidak. But then most of the time reliable lah. Cuma bila semua akses serentak at one time, so mungkin dekat situ akan ada masalah. Ada masalah reliability. So macam kita tengok basically during week 1 and week 2 of the early semester. So kita akan nampak problem kat situ, island tak boleh nak access sebagainya because satu Malaysia access the same system. Okay, right, the next one is a scalability problems. Okay, scalables ni kita nak kena something yang very big. Sistem kita ni nak kena handle maybe for example traffic network yang very huge, yang besar. Maksud dia sekarang ni satu Malaysia nak gunakan kita punya island for example. Okay, so traffic dia is very high. Bila very high, dia scalability dengan reliability ni akan effect. Okay, dia dua ni berkait ni, scalability dengan reliability ni akan effect. Tu contoh for example. And the fifth one is organizational rigidity. Okay, rigid ni maksud dia kadang-kadang ni kita tengoklah remeh tak remeh, semua orang nak guna ke tak boleh, rigid dan sebagainya. Kadang-kadang kita nakkan something yang perfect. Okay, so this is also distributed. This is also distributed kepada desirability of distributed database over centralized database management system. Okay, so kita boleh nampak kat sini kadang-kadang kita nak improve, kita nakkan sentiasa benda tu performance dia is good. So organisation pun akan take parts here. Okay, so let's move to the next slides. Okay, this is the advantages and also disadvantages of DDBMS. Right, I will explain maybe one or two. The rest, you just read, and also if let's say you try to memorize the advantages and also the disadvantages of the DDBMS. Okay, number 1. Okay, advantages of DDBMS. Number 1, maybe data are located near greatest demand sites. Okay, so in our example, island is in Shah Alam. So most of the campuses is near Shah Alam. So easy to access. Okay, number 2, faster data access and also processing if we put in the distributed. Okay, so maybe yes, let's say for example we take our data Shah Alam, Seremban for example, we put at Seremban. So maybe we can access the data faster. Alright, and the processing is also faster. Okay, and of course we can grow the facilitation. We can grow the facility, but then remember, when we grow the facility, of course cost will increase. Okay, so they will contribute to the disadvantages. Okay, so that means ada pro and cons here. Okay, then if let's say we put in the we distribute the data, so improve communication. Of course, we can improve the communication. If let's say we put our island in Seremban, so we are using only at Seremban data, then if let's say something wrong happen, we can communicate direct to the management in Seremban, and no need to go to the Shah Alam. This is for example. And of course we can reduce operating costs, but not all. User friendly interface, maybe less danger of a single point of failure. Okay, so if let's say kalau happen berlaku sesuatu, so only at a single point failure. And the next one, processor independence. Okay, we need to talk about the processor to see about the speeds of the computer, the speeds of the network, and so on. Okay, disadvantages. Okay, complexity of management and control. If let's say we distribute, the database, right? So the disadvantages is a complexity of management and control. So just imagine, semua cawangan di Malaysia ni, cawangan UiTM ada island sendiri. Ada island sendiri. So complex or not. So it's very complex to manage. Instead of kita just put dekat Shah Alam sahaja, satu tempat. So everything, if let's say something happen, kita just maintain dekat Shah Alam. Tapi kalau kita distribute to all campuses, so kalau berlaku something, it's very complex to manage. Okay, the next one, technological difficulty. So kadang-kadang involve technology. Ada certain places maybe difficult to find the technology, the parts, the hardware, the software and so on. Okay, the third one is security. Okay, of course, you need to make sure the security of the database is very good. Okay, lack of standard maybe. If we put in all campuses, maybe different campuses have different SOP, different standard, different sets of procedure and so on. So they are not following the same procedure. Okay. The next one is increased storage and also infrastructure requirement. Of course, kalau kata kita nak kena put a server, kita kena simpan, kita kena manage the place, tempat dan sebagainya. This is all involve infrastructure and also training cost. And the next one, cost incurred due to the requirement of duplicated infrastructure. Okay, semua cawangan nak buat benda yang sama. Semua cawangan nak buat yang sama. So at the end of the day, dia akan duplicate. Ini maksud dia. Bila semua cawangan nak buat benda sama, dia akan duplicate infrastructure. Cawangan A ada benda ni, cawangan B pun ada. So dan automatically cost akan meningkat. Okay. So this is the advantages of distributed database management system. Okay, let's move to the next one. Alright, distributed processing and distributed database. Okay, there's a difference between processing and also database. Alright, so these two keywords here. Okay, number one, distributed processing. So process. Okay, just imagine like a transaction. Right, so database logical processing is shared among two or more physical independent sites via network. Okay, maksud dia, okay, kadang-kadang kita ada database. Alright, so database ni kita hanya share dia punya proses. Okay, kita share proses. Okay, proses. So maksud dia, meaning that proses ni saja yang kita share, tetapi secara logicalnya database kita akan put in centralized. So contoh, ni contoh, salah satu contoh. Dan kita access dia via apa tadi kat sini? Network. Mesti ada network lah, mesti ada internet and so on. So dekat Shah Alam tadi, dia nak communicate dengan Seremban, nak communicate dengan Melaka and so on, dia mesti ada network. Okay? Tapi dia akan hanya involvekan proses saja. So macam let's say for example our island, we only access our process. Only access our process. We only done a process. Yeah. Okay. So maksudnya kita hanya buat processing sahaja. Kita tak ada pun database kita simpan dekat Seremban. Okay. And the next one is distributed database. Okay, kita boleh juga distributekan database dia. So maksud dia kita ada database kat sini. Sini pun kita ada database. Sini pun kita ada database. Sini pun kita ada database. Okay, so maksud dia setiap cawangan tadi ni kita boleh distribute di database. Okay, this is different. Macam tadi processing saja. Database stored centralized. Okay, so if let's say for the distributed database, store logically related database over two or more physically independent sites. Independent sites. So maksud dia, contoh tadi macam kita lah, Seremban, Melaka, mungkin Kota Kinabalu dan sebagainya lah, independent sites. Dan macam mana cara kita nak akses? Mesti of course via computer network. Cuma dalam kes ni kita simpan apa tadi? Database. Okay, so for this example kita simpan, we distribute only processing. Okay. So the next one, database fragment. Okay, so database fragments. Database composed of many parts in a distributed database system. Okay, so maybe kita boleh put a fragment. Fragment ni sebahagian, bahagian. So kita ambil sebahagian saja. Contoh, katakan kita dalam our central database melibatkan semua cawangan, tapi kita akan ambil fragment seremban sahaja. Kita tak simpan semua maklumat cawangan Melaka, cawangan Negeri Sembilan, cawangan Kota Kinabalu dan sebagainya, kita tak simpan. So kita ambil fragment kita saja, seremban saja. Okay, so because of the rest nanti kita akan simpan dekat centralized. Okay, yang nak distribute saja kita based on the fragment. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, this is the characteristic of distributed management system. Alright, so we have application interface, validation, transformation, until transaction management. Okay, part of that we already covered in the previous chapter, transaction. Alright, so I will not talk about this in detail. Okay. So the next one, so this is the functions of the distributed database management system. Okay, just imagine, like I mentioned earlier, our example is island. Okay, so number one, okay, if let's say we put something in distributed database management system, of course, we are as an end user, so we need to communicate with the database. Okay, of course, number one, the distributed database management system will receive the request of an application. Kita nak guna apa dekat sini? Contohnya kita nak guna island. Okay. And then number two, validate, analyze and decompose the request. Okay, validate the analyze. Betul ke? Siapa yang request ni? Okay. Okay, contohnya kita lah as a student, you all as a student ataupun lecturer. So they validate the analyze. Map the request. Betul ke ni? So request ni datang daripada mana? Maybe Seremban. Alright. Decompose request into several I/O operation. I/O means input output. So dia kena ada jalan keluar, jalan masuk lah. Operations. So maybe this one via network. Okay, via network. And then search and also validates data. Betul ke data island tadi ni? Bila kita log in dan sebagainya, betul ke data tu? Betul ke student tersebut? ID dia betul ke tidak dan sebagainya. Okay, alright. The next one, ensure consistency, security and also integrity. So make sure orang yang betul, student yang betul yang masuk ke dalam kita punya sistem. And then after that, validates data for specification, for specific condition. Kita kena validate semula data-data sebab dalam tu ada macam-macam assessment, assignments and so on. And also bila semua dah dipenuhi, present the data in a required format. So akhirnya kita dapatlah island kita tu. This is the example. Okay. So meaning that there's a lot of process involved in the distributed database management. Okay, this is just a brief idea macam mana kita nak decompose ataupun functions of the distributed database management system. Sebab apa kita kena find the all this function kat sini ni. Okay, move to the next one. Okay, this is another example, a fully distributed database management system. Okay, so this is what we call as a fragment. This is one fragment, this is one fragment. Okay, kita pecahkan kepada dua database tersebut. But then sebenarnya dia duduk dalam single logical database. Cuma dipecah dalam dua fragment, fragment A, A1, A2, A1, A2. Okay, and also dia akan distribute the process tadi ni. So maksud dia, proses ni boleh diakses oleh mana-mana cawangan. Okay, cawangan mana-mana. So ini contoh ni cawangan Melaka, ni cawangan Negeri Sembilan dan sebagainya. Through apa dia? Communication network. Okay, so simple. So maksud dia, this is how you want to imagine macam mana distributed ni berlaku. Okay, next. Okay, DDBMS component. Okay, so in this slides, okay, computer, workstations or remote device. Okay, dia mesti ada komponen ni lah, remote device. Maksud dia kalau kita nak guna, kita mesti ada komputer kita sendirilah. Contoh macam kita gunakan di lab, tetapi island tersebut dia tak di Shah Alam. Okay, of course kita kena ada network hardware and also software component to communicate. Mesti ada network dan mesti ada, maybe kalau dalam case kita ada browser. Kalau tak ada browser, kita tak boleh open island. Okay, sebab dia itu adalah part of the software. And also communication media. Kita kena communicate apa-apa sajalah yang kita nak communicate through the network. Okay. And the next one, kita ada transaction processor ataupun TP here. software component of a system that request a data. Okay, this is what we call a software. Kita kena ada software tertentu lah untuk request the transactions of the processor, and known as a transaction manager or application manager. Okay, so that's why kat sini kita back to the previous topics, iaitu transaction. Okay, so kita dah talk about this in details. So maknanya akan berlaku something lah in between, ada transaction. Okay, the next one, data processor DP or data manager. Okay, somebody so kena manage. Okay, software component on a system that stores and retrieve data from its location. Kena ada somebody lah yang akan process the data. So of course lah server dan sebagainya takkan mainkan peranan dalam kes ni. So kita ada nampak dah, this is all the component yang perlulah. So if let's say we want to talk about the details, maybe kita boleh pass kepada orang network lah, dia faham lah macam mana cara nak buat kerja-kerja ni. So kita kena faham all the scenario, how to manage. Alright, the next one. Okay, the next one, single site processing, single site data. Okay, so for the distributed database management, alright, number one, kita boleh put in a single site processing, single site data. Maksud dia, kita boleh letak kita punya data tadi on the single computer ataupun single host. So Seremban uruskan Seremban punya, Melaka uruskan Melaka punya dan sebagainya. Jadi kita tak letak dah dekat Shah Alam. So this is what we call single site processing, single site data. Okay, so processing is done on a single host computer. Kalau Seremban, kalau Melaka dan sebagainya. Data stored on the host computer local disk, for example. So maksud dia Seremban kena manage lah, dia punya server dan sendiri dan sebagainya. Dan processing restricted on end user sites. End user ni siapa? Kalau tadi dalam contoh tadi Seremban lah. Seremban akan jadi end user. Semua sekali proses akan berlaku di Seremban. Dia tak akan berlaku lagi di Shah Alam. Okay, DBMS is accessed by a dumb terminal. Okay, so kita punya data tadi kita akan access melalui terminal-terminal komputer-komputer yang tertentu. Okay, so this is the example. Okay, so maksud dia kita put single site processing, single site data. Okay, dekat sini ni semua single ni. Yang ini kita boleh access lah through the dumb terminal. Of course kena ada network. Okay, cerita dia sama je, pusing-pusing. Alright, the next one. Okay, multiple sites processing, single sites data, MPSD. Multiple, yang tadi tu single sites. Okay, sorry, kalau kata single sites tadi, meaning that dia lebih kepada centralized. Okay, saya correct balik. So maksud dia decentralized. Maksud dia kita letak dekat Shah Alam tadi. The rest akan access through Shah Alam. Okay, because of single sites. Sorry for that. Single sites processing and single sites data. So semua duduk dekat central. Okay, yang tadi ni maksud dia dekat sini tadi ni. Okay, saya ulang balik lah. So maksud dia ni tadi ni semua dekat Shah Alam tadi ni. On a single host dan sebagainya. Okay, compared to the next one. Okay, move to the next one. Sorry. Okay, so for this one kita akan gunakan multiple site processing, single site data. Okay, ini baru beza. Maksud dia data duduk setempat. Okay, tetapi proses come from multiple sites. Ini baru betul. Maksud dia Shah Alam simpan data, database, yang lain-lain, cawangan yang lain akan access the data tadi tu. Akan access. So they are only using the processing sahaja. Data still simpan dekat Shah Alam. Okay, so that's why kalau kita dekat sini, tulis multiple processes runs on a different computer sharing a single data repository. Okay, data kita satu. Okay, database, komputer yang lain akan share. This is komputer ni akan share. Okay, komputer akan share data kita ni. Alright. Of course, require network file server running on conventional application. Ni perlu ada network, processing mesti network. Dan maybe boleh access through LAN. LAN means local area network. Okay, so siapa yang tak pernah dengar ni, LAN means local area network. Okay, pun sebenarnya kalau siapa yang dah pernah dengar, ada perkataan lain LAN, WAN dan juga MAN. Okay, so tak apalah, for today you all akan nampak perkataan LAN ni sajalah. So means local area network. And also kita akan gunakan client server architecture. Client server. So of course Dia kena ada klien, dia ada server, dia kena ada pelanggan, dia kena ada pelayan. So what is the purpose? Yang pertama, to reduce network traffic. Okay. So kalau kata semua akses serentak, kat situ dia akan ada advantage lah. Processing is distributed. Kita boleh distributekan processing tersebut. So semua cawangan boleh gunakan proses yang sama. Support data at multiple sites. Okay. Dan semua cawangan akan dapat data yang sama. Dia boleh support all the data tadi tu. Okay. So this is the example. Move to the next one. Okay, this is the example. Multiple sites processing, single data. So this is single data. Okay, this is multiple sites processing. Okay, access through network. Access through network. Okay, quite simple. Okay, so okay, the next one, multiple sites processing, single sites data. Alright, so fully distributed database management system. Okay, so maybe boleh jadi macam ni jugalah. Maksud dia ada multiple site and then single sites data. So data tadi, tapi sebenarnya dia sama macam yang sebelum tadi ni. Support multiple data processor and transaction processor at multiple sites. Di tempat-tempat yang berbeza. Okay. Next, classifications of DDBMS depending on the levels of support for various types of database. Okay, of course lah. Kita kena check juga the levels of support tadi ni. So there's a lot of things that you need to consider, something like a network, the environment and so on. Okay, so the next one. Okay, number one, of course, types is homogeneous, meaning that integrate multiple instances of same DBMS over a network. Kita kena integrate, kita kena gabungkan yang banyak-banyak tadi, multiple instance tadi ni dalam satu network. So mungkin perkara ni kita panggil homogeneous. Okay, heterogeneous, integrate different types of database management system. Okay, kita boleh juga integratekan database yang berbeza-beza. Tapi in our case tak berlaku lah. Sebab apa? Benda ni memang payah. Untuk kita nak integratekan different types of database memang beza. Contoh, kalau kita macam you all mungkin dah belajar sekarang ni Oracle. Before this, you all dah belajar DB2. Ada yang dah belajar DB2, ada yang belajar Microsoft Access. Okay, itu consider as a different platform. So kalau kita nak integrate, maybe akan ada here and there yang akan jadi constraint kita. So this is what we call heterogeneous. Then the last one is fully heterogeneous. Support different database, each supporting different data model. Okay, yang ini lagi susah nak buat. Dah lah dia support different database. Maksud dia contoh macam dia boleh support Oracle, dia boleh support DB2, dia boleh support different kind of database, dan juga dia boleh support different model. Okay, macam kita yang dah belajar ni ERD ni, kita panggil ni model kita ni, data model kita panggil ERD. So kalau let's say for example dia belajar another model besides ERD, so still dia boleh integrate. Maksud dia still dia boleh gabungkan. Okay, iaitu dia panggil fully heterogeneous. Maksud dia dalam case ni mungkin jadi lebih complicated. Akan jadi complicated. Biasanya kita akan gunakan yang inilah, homogeneous ni. Alright, so integrate multiple instances of the same DBMS, network yang sama, database yang sama. Contoh island tu, semua cawangan akan gunakan network yang sama, data yang sama dan juga proses yang sama. Kita tak nak prosesnya berbeza-beza. So normally kita akan gunakan homogeneous. Okay, so with that, saya stop dulu for this lesson. This is considered part 1. So we continue with part 2, starting from restrictions of DDBMS. Okay, so I will stop here. Kita akan jumpa lagi dalam next lesson or next part 2 of distributed database management system. With that, thank you very much. Right, so assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Kita jumpa lagi dalam in part 2, distributed database management system. Thank you very much.